Welcome in, viewers. Welcome to the channel. This is my very first Dead by Daylight video. In fact, this is my very first video in front of a camera. Usually I'm behind the camera and they're they're not as professional as this. And I'm not saying this is going to be professional by any means. It's just going to be a lot more professional than my past videos. But this video, I just kind of want to talk about why I think licenses are important to Dead by Daylight. Now, obviously, one of the most important things about licenses is obviously money in their pocket. You know, like they bring in people who are a fan of that source material, that license, of that IP. Now they want to play your game and they're going to spend money in your game. So obviously, from that perspective, it's from a business standpoint, they are very important, very, very important. And that also helps with the longevity of the game. The game is going to last 10 times longer than, I mean, it's already going on year 9. Like this game has been lasting for, the game has lasted for so long, and I've been there since the very beginning, since the day it launched on PlayStation 4 with Michael Myers coming as the first DLC character. I was there for that. Why? I'm a huge Halloween fan. It sucked me in. This game had bought me at the very beginning, pretty much. So that is a big reason why I think that licenses are obviously important, but there's also another side to that I don't think people talk too much about, and that side would probably be the exposure to people like me who, let's say I wasn't a fan of Halloween, and the hype behind that chapter release, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna try this, I'm gonna play this, and it's like, you know what? Maybe I want to know what this IP is from. So then I leave the game. Well, I don't leave the game, but like I step away from the game, watch the movie, engage with the license outside of the game, and now I'm a fan of that. And then that builds a whole nother level of a fan community right there. So perfect examples I can give are Stranger Things. That might have been the very first thing that Dead by Daylight sucked me into. I did not watch the show when it came out. I kind of was annoyed by the fandom in a sense, where I felt like it was overhyped. It was just shoved in your face everywhere. And I kind of avoided it for that reason, which is stupid, by the way. Don't let anyone do that. Go watch something. If you enjoy it, enjoy it. If you don't like it, you don't like it. But don't let other people negatively affect that. But anyway, when Dead by Daylight was removing Stranger Things from their game, I was like, oh, I have to have the content, I don't want to miss out on that. So I bought all the skins, I bought all the characters, and I'm just like, I just spent like, I don't know, like $70 on all this stuff. I should probably watch the source material. Boom, a fan instantly. That show's great. The characters are great. And what introduced me to that, or what got me to do that? Watch the show, Dead by Daylight. Dead by Daylight got me into Stranger Things, and I will forever be thankful to the game for that. I can't thank it enough. Other licenses I can give examples of is Child's Play, Chucky. So I knew who Chucky was. I mean, he's in the pop culture. It's pretty hard to not know who Chucky is, in my opinion. But I never watched the movies. I kind of was just not interested in that. It kind of like I wasn't turned off by it, but just nothing like engaged. I wasn't, there wasn't anything that sucked me in. All right. So when he came to the game, I'm like, you know what? I might as well watch the movies. And I think I might have seen the first one, but I went down the whole line. I got to meet Tiffany. I got to see who Tiffany is. I have to meet these characters. I have to understand these characters more. I love the franchise. It's not one of my favorites, but the fact that Dead by Daylight got me to push me over the edge into watching the franchise, that is a huge plus. Another example I can give is The Ring, the original version. I'd seen the American version, but never Ringu, the original. Because I'm like, you know what? I have to know who Sadako is. Watched it, and I like the characters more, I feel, in the American version, but the original version is fantastic. It's a great film. And I will be thankful for Dead by Daylight for introducing me to these movies, to these characters, and to the show Stranger Things. Now, FNAF, Five Nights at Freddy's, that's coming out in a few months for the anniversary. Never touched a game. Never touched a game. I'm sorry. Guilty. It never interested me. I think just the fact that you're staring at a computer screen and you gotta like, it's just a jump scare game. At least this is my opinion from someone who's never played the game, right? So it just did not seem to be like the type of game for me. It's I like typically like third person games, walking around, Silent Hill, Resident Evil type stuff like that. So it never sucked me in. But because the license is coming out, I'm gonna go play the games. Maybe not all of them, but I'll try out the first one, maybe second one, something like that. I'll watch the film. I know that's different, but at least it'll give me some more context behind the characters and shit like that. But yeah, I want to learn and engage with a license that's coming out. And that is actually one of the biggest things too with licenses, is not only the hype for the game and a new character coming out, new gameplay, new characters and all that stuff. That's great. Like, yeah, I could be excited for that. But the fact that like I can also be excited with, hey, something new's coming out and I don't know that license, I get to go watch another movie. Now I know I could just go watch that movie on my own, but yeah, that's a whole different story. But the fact that like if you hear it coming to the game and you're a big fan of the game and you want to know more about what's in the game, the license that's coming out, that's going to push at least me, and I'm sure many others, to go engage with the license. And I'm sure the license holders, they know that. At least the smart ones that want to actually give their IP to the game, they know this exposure. Like especially the older stuff. Like when you have something like Pinhead and Hellraiser coming to the game, which sadly just left. Those are older movies, right? And the generations just keep people that are playing the game, they get younger and younger, right? So they probably don't know those older movies like that. That is great exposure for them. I don't know what else to say with that. That makes perfect sense to me. So if you're a license holder, why don't you want your license in the game? Because like what I'm talking about right now, I want to be excited for new stuff, whether that be characters to play as in the game or give me a new franchise to love. You know what I mean? Like I'm always open for that. Give me a suggestion for a franchise in a game like that, and I want to check it out. I'm gonna check it out. I want to be. I want to like. I mean, who goes around and says I don't want to like stuff? I want to hate stuff. I hate it. Yep, that's me. That's just depressing, right? But regardless, I'm always down to add new, especially if it's horror related. Give me more stuff to enjoy. And I think that Dead by Daylight, that is one of the most important things about the licenses being added to the game. Truly, it really is. Obviously, from there, like I said before, from a business standpoint, money in their pocket, but from a fan standpoint, it's just more shit to love. And what's wrong with that? Well, hold up. Pause for a second. I almost wrapped this video up without mentioning one of the most important licenses. I was thinking more on the movie side, and I don't understand why I didn't connect when I was talking about Five Nights at Freddy's being a game. But from a game side, like, hold up. What? Look at this. Like, these. Like, all the Resident Evil games. Like, all the way, like, I've played them all. Like, I know I have, hold up. See, you got, I got them all the way up to the latest one. Like, I literally, like, I was a Silent Hill guy. That's all I played. And then Resident Evil being added to Dead by Daylight got me to be like, you know what? All these characters are coming out, like all the skins, and then I was just like, I need to know who these characters are. Like, everyone's talking about it. Wesker, or not Wesker, Nemesis was huge. I mean, Wesker was huge too when he came out, but I was already playing the games by that point. But it's just like everyone was, the hype behind Resident Evil being added to Dead by Daylight was huge. And I'm just like, you know what? I like horror. I like horror games. Why am I not playing this franchise? You know what? The biggest thing was, honestly, was I started playing Silent Hill. It's like back in the day, so I had played them as they not as they were coming out, but almost like that. Resident Evil, I was so far behind. There were so many games, and I was kind of like, oh, I got to start at the very beginning and all this stuff. So it was kind of a little overwhelming, but I did it. Dead by Daylight got me to push the door fully open and dive into Resident Evil. And it's now one of my favorite horror franchises of all time. I don't think it tops Silent Hill for me, just because of the nostalgia purposes, but like, I love this franchise now. So again, I have to say thank you to Dead by Daylight. That's huge. I'm a gamer and I got all these games that I had to play. Not that I had to, I wanted to play. So it's just crazy that I almost left this out of the video. So it's like, dang, I gotta apologize for that. Anyway, let me go back to wrapping this video up here. Yeah, sorry about that. So anyway, those are my thoughts on licenses in Dead by Daylight. They are very important, obviously, to behavior's pockets, line them with money, but they are also very important to people like me and you too, probably watching, because they introduce you to new stuff to become a fan of. And you've heard mine. I'd like to hear what yours are. If you have anything that Dead by Daylight has added to their game, any license that you either did not know about or you knew about but weren't a fan of that have now you are a fan of now, let me know what they are below. Also, I'm gonna plug my Twitch, JA Taylor 30. I have to. It's my channel. I'm gonna make that shameless plug. I'm gonna leave that in the description below as well, along with my Instagram. So feel free to follow me there. And I think that might be about it. Yeah. All right. Thank you for tuning in. Hopefully this wasn't too rambly. I'm gonna try and get better at that. But that's it. So I will see you guys later. Cheers.